Hi guys, it's LpsHoney, and today I have a package from LPS Lover QA. I believe they recently rebranded to DIY LPS Home, but they're pretty much the godfathers of the blank LPS bases that pretty much every customizer uses. Trust me when I say, think of your favorite customizer and they've most likely either used one of the blank bases they produce or worked with them. Fun fact, my fellow ambassador, Tiki's LPS Customs, I actually found out recently she sold a design to them to resell, which was really cool and interesting to find out. But anyway, recently they reached out to me to send me some blank bases. Apparently they have some new designs and I thought, hey, why not? You know, I've been making a lot more customs and this would be a great opportunity to show people what I use for said customs. Now I do personally use a mixture of blank bases but also authentic LPS for some of my customs. It just depends on the availability. When it comes to main 5 pets, it's a lot cheaper and easier for me to use the blank bases than it is authentic pets. And that's where these come in handy, I guess. These blank bases are quite easy to get a hold of. I've personally purchased most of mine in the past from AliExpress, but they're also available on places like Amazon and eBay. I'll try to provide some links down below so you can check out products, but let's get started and see what they sent me, because I actually don't know what bases they've sent me and I'm really interested to see what these new products they have are like. There's a ton of little baggies. I was honestly expecting like 1 or 2, but they sent quite a lot. And there's also this massive green bag which I believe is full of accessories, so we'll touch on this later. So let me just go ahead and open these little baggies and we'll take a look at the designs that I received. I went ahead and opened them all and it's kind of spooky, all of them just blankly, soullessly staring behind me, but some of these have been out for a while and some of them are like brand new molds. So I'll show you guys the older molds that you've probably most likely already seen, and then we'll get into the brand new designs. So we have the collie. I think this is one of the very first blank molds they ever made and what kind of put them on the map and made them really popular for customizers, because it's a lot cheaper to buy a blank base than it is buying a authentic collie. And you know, they still have the bubble head. It might not be perfect, the bubble head, but it does its job. You know, like it functions as an LPS. I've also seen people use these bases for replacement pieces, so like the neck pegs, for example. If you have an old LPS that has a broken neck peg, these are pretty good ways to get a functioning one to replace it without damaging an official LPS. It can be a bit more of a pricier method to replace the neck peg, but again, it saves you from damaging authentic pets and just using this base as your little Frankenstein to get parts from. Another base is the Dachshund. This is also a really popular base that they sell. They've actually, I feel like, kind of perfected it recently. Before, the kind of chin area was very, I guess, weak. Like it was kind of odd looking, but now it definitely resembles an authentic Dachshund a lot more. So yeah, it's a great base for making Dachshund customs, because they're freaking expensive. There's also the Cocker Spaniel. I will say this one's neck is kind of a bit scrankly. It's still like fine, but it's definitely a bit more wobbly on the head. But something like a wobbly neck joint is kind of what you get for the price point. There's also the Great Dane. This is another base that I think they captured really well, very authentic looking. Some definitely look better than others, and I will say the Great Dane is definitely one of the better looking ones. And along that line we have the short-haired cat, which I think looks slightly off. I think maybe it's the cheeks or something along the bottom of the head. I'm not quite sure what it is. I can't really put my finger on it. But you know, if you're not too worried about the super like 1-for-1 representation of the pet, it's still fine, but it does look slightly different, I'd say, to an authentic short hair. Then we have some more recent designs they've done, one of them being this husky mold, which was pretty popular when they released this. I remember seeing a lot of customizers buying it because there's not a lot of this pet that was made. There's only 3 like versions of it authentically. So a lot of customizers rushed to get this base. There's also the crouching cat, which looks super authentic. Like if somebody gave this to me, I would think you had just removed the paint off like a factory pet. It's kind of crazy. They also released the deer. It was kind of cool seeing them do kind of, I guess, less popular or less main 5 pets. It definitely gives a good opportunity for customizers. I will say pets like the deer though, you can definitely get cheap deers, so a base like this definitely isn't as necessary as a main 5 base for saving money with customs, but it is still a cool option if you want a completely blank base and like a non-authentic pet to work with, because I know that there are quite a few people out there who don't like painting authentic pets no matter what. There's also the wolf cat mold or Persian cat, and this one as well, kind of like the husky. There's definitely more wolf cats than there are huskies, but still it can be a bit more pricey, so it was definitely a cool mold to see them come out with. Also, these newer molds, at least to me, feel a lot more accurate than the main 5 ones. Like definitely there are some good main 5 looking pets, but this looks a lot more accurate than the short hair, in my opinion. Like maybe I'm just seeing something that isn't there, but that's just how I feel about it. They also came out with a kitten, which was really surprising to see them do a pet so small. I don't know how popular it's been. I don't even know if many people have bought this blank base, but it is still cool that they made it. And kind of going along with that, we have the husky puppy as well. I feel like this has been a bit more popular just because a lot of people use the head mold for customs. And then we kind of get into the latest releases. So we have the ferret, which I think came out a few months ago now, but it's still pretty recent. And again, this is a pet much like the deer, which you can still get for cheap authentically online. But if you're somebody who morally is like, nope, I don't want to paint authentics, this could be a good substitute, but it's not like a need. And like, I'm just being honest with you guys, you don't need to buy this base, okay? You can definitely buy authentic versions for cheap, but if you're somebody who just doesn't want to paint an authentic, this is the best option in my opinion, because it still looks super great. It's just, if you want to save a few bucks, you can still get an authentic pet, probably for cheaper than this base, but it's still a good option. I'm trying to be as like honest as I can with you guys about my opinion on what bases I think are worth it and what ones I don't. And one of their like brand new releases, I think, is this Persian cat. I was really happy personally to see this cat get a blank base release. I don't think Persian cats are that expensive in my knowledge. I don't know, maybe the market's changed, but I still think it's cool. Like, it's such a unique body mold that I think would make awesome customs, so I'm personally happy to see it get its own blank base made. I definitely think it's more expensive than like the ferrets authentic wise, so this one's probably a little more worth it as a blank base. The quality feels pretty good, the bobble is good, you know, the head I think seems actually a bit sturdier than say the collies, which is nice. Maybe they're making an improvement as well to the bobbleheads. But yeah, definitely cool to see. I also think that they take recommendations or like suggestions for molds. So if there's a specific mold you want to see them make a base of, definitely comment on like their socials, because supply and demand kind of affects what bases they make. And that's kind of leading into the last base I'm going to show you guys, which is their brand new base, and that's the fox base. Again, I was really surprised that they made this. You know, it's not a main 5 pet, it's not a dog and a cat, but it's still a pretty popular base, so it does make sense, but I kind of wasn't expecting it personally. I think it looks really good. Like I said, like the more recent releases definitely look more authentic and true to the original mold. and the fox is no exception in my opinion. I really think this is going to be a popular mold for customizers, not only just for the fox in general, but I feel like it's such a unique body mold that you've probably seen quite a few customizers use. So I can definitely see this mold in particular being popular, especially if it's not too overpriced, which hopefully it won't be. But yeah, I'm really happy with this one. I'm pleasantly surprised because once again, it has kind of like a small mouth, so it's a bit worrying that maybe it'll have the chin issue that some of the other ones have had, like the dachshund, but it looks like they kind of nailed it. Let me know your opinion on this one specifically, because like I said, this is their latest, newest design and kind of the whole reason they sent me this package, and I like it. I'm definitely going to be using these bases for customs now that I have them. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with all of the ones I got. My least favorite's probably the short hair, just because I think the face looks a little funny, so maybe that is something to take into consideration if you're thinking about getting the short-haired blank molds, that it's not the most authentic looking base you could use. I feel like all the other bases I got though were pretty accurate with the sculpting and everything, so I'd happily recommend pretty much every other base that I got. Especially with their newer molds, they definitely seem like a bit better quality and more kind of time and effort has gone into them. Or even the dachshund mold, which is an older mold but kind of been revamped recently, so hopefully with like these new bases being made and the dachshund being revamped, we could possibly see other older molds be revamped as well, like the short hair's face fixed, or maybe like the collie's swivelly head fixed, stuff like that. My personal favorite for the bases though is probably the Persian. I just think it's really cool to see this pet get its own base for customizing. So let's take a look at the accessories they sent me, because I also wasn't expecting any accessories, so I was kind of like, what's happening here? But they sent quite a lot. We're talking 2 whole baggies full. So you've probably seen these accessory lots on places like AliExpress and maybe even eBay as well. I was actually tempted to purchase some of them because I wanted some more collars for my LPS, but now I have some to open for you guys. So yeah, I believe you can purchase accessory lots, but you can also purchase them individually, and then sometimes they also bundle them with the LPS bases, so there's multiple ways you can get the accessories. Oh lord, there's a lot. So some of the accessories are like direct remakes of LPS accessories, like cups, bottles, skirts, food bowls, even some of the little collars. And then others are more unique, or I guess like original accessories, so like an iPad or a crown bow or a little scarf that says cutie pets. There's even like LOL surprise glasses which fit LPS, and they're accessories I use pretty often. It's a real big mix of LPS accessories and then small accessories which work with LPS. 2020, oh girl, we do not want to go back there. I'm surprised they made this LPS accessory, the little "you are invited" invitation. It's cute, but I'm just interested that they made it. Is that my boy Karopi? Oh, it's a phone. I didn't even realize. Yeah, it's kind of like an overview of the first baggie. Definitely some cute accessories. I personally feel like the wearable ones are more useful than things like food and cups, but that's just me. I make LPS videos, so if you're somebody who just wants more accessories in general, go ahead and get like whatever you like. Just a word of warning though, if you're gonna get things like collars, they do tend to be a bit more stiff than traditional authentic LPS collars, so just be warned that it may be a bit more difficult to get these on your pets depending on the mold. But let's see what's in that second baggie. It looks like more of the same, but if there's anything that stands out, I'll definitely point it out to you guys. Is that a freaking tech deck? Oh yeah. Sup ladies, ever seen a pet do this? Yeah. Besides the tech deck, I like this eye patch. I think it's an LOL accessory, but they fit LPS, so I'm happy. Also, this little LPS shirt. I don't have one like this, so I want to put this on one of the bases because I've always freaking wanted one of these. Oh my god, that's so cute. Okay, I love this shirt. That's freaking adorable. And this one's like really rubbery and easy to put on, thankfully. All the other accessories are pretty similar to the other bag, you know, skirts, collars, bowls, stuff like that. it's almost like a starter kit for an LPS tuber, so if you're somebody who's in need of more accessories, this can be a really good cheap way to get some. I'd also recommend like buying them in lots compared to buying them individually, unless it's a specific accessory you really want to spend money on. It's a lot cheaper to buy them in packs of accessories rather than one by one, at least from what I've seen. But there you have it, guys, the new fox mold and all the other little molds and accessories. I'm pretty happy with everything I got. I definitely like the fox and the accessories, especially. They're a big help to my videos. But yeah, thank you again to DIY LPS Home for sending me these bases and accessories. Like I said, I'll try and provide some links down below to different sites you can check out to buy these blank bases. Very handy if you're customizers or somebody who's just beginning and wants to practice on non-authentic pets. I really recommend them. Like always, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please don't forget to like, comment, and of course subscribe. And I will see you next time with a new video. Until then, bye guys!